Hello and welcome to What's Moving in the Forex Market, brought to you by myself, Kurt Capra, and T3 Live. As always, please keep in mind that all information is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. Now, with that said, taking a look at where things are at, we're really just going to focus on one pair in particular, and that is US dollar, Canadian dollar. And this has been on my radar for really the last week and a half or so. I actually tweeted out a chart of this and to be watching it. But as you can see here, we've got this upper area of resistance that we've continued to test over and over. We keep poking at it time and time again. And at the same time, you'll also notice that the lows are also getting higher. So we've got this pennant type formation that's taking place. And I expect it to resolve itself to the upside. I mean, it's already starting to. It started to last week. We had the breakout on Friday, and then we're seeing some follow through here this morning. So we'll see how this continues to play out, but I am expecting it to move higher. I do think, however, that if it does break to the upside with any real decisiveness, that it'll probably come back in first, set up a higher low somewhere within this area, and then that's where we would look to get on board for a bigger move. So it's not to say that we can't look at playing this move higher long for at least a short-term push, but I think it's going to have to first pull back before then opening the door to what could be a much more substantial or significant move higher. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And if we look at the weekly, just to gain a little more perspective here, you can see the detail or a step back and a little less detail, but still the same message where the volatility is contracting, the ranges are contracting, the attempts to move lower have been failing. So a lot of times when you get those attempts to move lower failing, you'll get a move in the opposite direction for really no other reason than it can't move down. And that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. And if we take another step out to the monthly, I mean, this is just a pullback to support within an uptrend. Now, it did come down in a rather sharp manner, but it doesn't mean it can't push up, say, halfway back up into this area here. That would be a significant move if you're thinking, okay, well, where does that put us on the daily chart? And let's just take a look here. All right, so let's just say that we do expect it to move up into this area. Right? Where does that put us on the daily? Right? So that puts us up here at around 35.75-ish. So if we pulled back into this area here and go from 31.40, just using round numbers here, say 31.40 up to 35.75, that's a significant move. That's a huge move. So that's something that I've got on the radar for not just this week, but in the coming weeks. And, you can even look to play this on the intraday pullbacks. I'm just going to get rid of some of these lines here. You can look to play this on some of these intraday pullbacks because the bias is bullish. Now, we do want to keep in mind that later this week we've got the FOMC announcement, and that can provide some intraday volatility. But I don't necessarily expect that it's going to create so much shock and awe that this picture gets negated. But you know what? If it does, let's just say that there is some kind of rhetoric that is used which shakes the tree, and this does come all the way back down and fall apart. Well, then no harm done. We update the information with what we now have, and we move forward. I mean, if we start breaking support levels in the form of these pivot lows, then the bias simply begins to shift to more bearish. So it's no harm done in a sense, and we'll just have to see how things continue to play out. But that's what trading in many respects is all about. Staying in the present moment, being objective, and ready to adjust as the charts dictate. And that's one of the big things that I harp on. That's one of the big things that I focus on when I'm helping students, when I'm teaching courses. So Hopefully this has alerted you to a potential opportunity here that's going to be setting up not just today from an intraday point of view, but also in the coming days and weeks ahead for what could be a very significant move higher. So that wraps up today's what's moving in the Forex market. There are other things out there that are moving around. You know, you've got pound US dollar, which is beginning to look vulnerable. You've got New Zealand dollar, US dollar looking like it may want to bounce a little bit on the daily chart. So there's still other things out there. This isn't the only thing, but this is the one thing that I did want to at least highlight and focus on, because there is an educational component to it besides just the I think this is moving higher. Right, so if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and also make sure that if you have any questions, email me, Kurt@t3live.com, or ask them in the comments section below. I'd be happy to converse and create a dialogue with you. So in the meantime, guys, stay patient, stay disciplined, and stay confident, and I'll talk to you again soon.